और मीटिंग में होंगे या फिर सेशन नहीं ज्वाइन कर पाए होंगे. They have enrolled, but let's see.
Okay.
Okay sir, just let me know कि कब live जाना है YouTube पे. Okay sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Fine, sir.
How was your first
Sir,
sem?
the meeting is live on YouTube.
Yeah, it will be. I still not started. How was your first sem?
Good, sir.
What marks?
Sir, computers 49 out of 50.
49. Okay, 1 mark pass.
47.
Okay, great.
Rudra came in, sir.
Prakash Sir, we are live on YouTube. We can start with the class.
Okay, guys, I am ready. I hope you guys are ready all.
Yes, sir.
Can I have a show of hands? How many of you were there for the first sem with me? Just show me your reaction like this. How many of you were there with me in the first sem? Okay, I can see Krishna, I can see Abhiram. Okay, Abhiram is there. Okay, Abhiram. Okay, Siddharth is also there. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. When can we start recording the meeting?
I will start that time. I'll tell you. Give me a minute. Okay, fine. You can put your hands down. Okay. So in this particular session, in this particular sem rather say, we are going to do two main big chapters, which is related to programming as well, and of course the remaining part is a theory, arrays and string. These are the two big chapters, and they are different than what we have studied. I'm sure you must have done arrays in your school as well. We are going to start today with the arrays. We are going to finish introduction to arrays today, how to store data, how to input data. Okay, and then next time we are going to start with searching. I hope you all guys are aware of it, that you only have searching this year. You don't have sorting at all. Are you all aware of it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do not have sorting at all. Okay, so don't worry about it. So we will do that, and thereafter, of course, once we finish with both the types of searches, we'll get into string. String is a very big topic, a huge topic. In fact, it can be equal to another 3 topics. It's a huge topic, and it has a little different things in that we'll do. And at the end, we will start with some kind of a theory as well. Okay, so I hope we all understood what we are going to do. So without wasting time, I'm going to start with the introduction to arrays. All right, Miss, you can start with the recording now. Hello? Who is there for recording? Okay, I'll record it. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start straight with the sharing of my screen to understand. Anybody who can tell me what is your understanding about array? Why do you use array? Hello? I like to be having little more interactive session, especially the children who are online here. You should be at least answering.
To store many values in one variable.
Okay, to store many values in one variable. So we're going to understand first the concept. All of you must focus. If your concept is bad, you will find it very difficult. So get into your concept first. Okay, so we understand conceptually that when we started learning programming, we learned how to store data. So this was one of the methods that we started learning how to store data. Maybe A is equal to 10. In the memory, A will be stored as 10. B is equal to 20, C is equal to 30, D is equal to 40. So in the memory, they all will get stored like this. Okay, so previously when we started in the 9th standard, we started learning is one value, one data value, one variable. Okay, but then what happens here is, here if you consider, though every character in Java is 2 byte and integer is always 4 bytes, but in spite of that, we will take this as, say, let's say one cell for variable and one cell for data. Okay, one cell for variable, one cell for data. If we start, then we will be able to store 4 data values, 4 variables. So logically, if you look at it, then my 4 data, I also need 4 variable cell. So total number of 4 data, but I'm using actually L8 cell values. Though this is 2 bytes, 2 bytes, 2 bytes like that, but we just assume that it is one box. Then we are actually using more of a memory to store variable rather than the actual data. And for programming point of view, data is more supreme than anything else. So this concept fails when there is a lot of data volume. Then we came across input coming from the user in the method called input ABCD. Still, it gave me a trouble the same way as what we have here. Equal number of data with the equal number of variables. So it is again a waste. Okay. In that case, hello, मैं क्लास में हूँ बीच में. अभी मैं अच्छा ठीक, हाँ ठीक. Okay, guys, just give me a minute. I'll just stop screen share. The others. I think wrong PPT. Samir sir, are you there online?
Sir, Sami sir left.
समीर सर को बोल देना मैं ये उनका पीपीटी यूज नहीं कर सकता हूँ, बहुत ज्यादा बीच में डिस्टरबेंस हो रहा है. नेक्स्ट टाइम करेंगे कुछ.
Okay,
ठीक है, दिस टाइम आई एम राइट नाउ गोइंग टू कंटिन्यू विद व्हाट आई हैव. Okay.
all right, sir.
So guys, here we come back here that 4 data and 4 data value and 4 you can say cell values. So this is again a lot of waste of memory space. If you actually look at it practically, that if I have a full hard disk and if I have a data which is being stored in this fashion, all right, either this fashion or either this fashion or this fashion, then my only 50% memory is used for data. The remaining 50% is actually a waste of time, a waste of memory, because they are for variables. If you look at your mobile, you are not interested in what variable is being used to store phone numbers and all. You are interested in how many phone numbers, how many photographs I'm able to store. So as a user, I am worried about data, how much my memory can take. All right, and that is a programmer's job, whether to use the memory for data purpose or too much of variable. So these things also fail. Then we also learned, if you recollect, this method. If you look at this method, considering here is your loop, okay, and the loop is repeating 200 times, I can take 200 values. I can take even 2000 values, 2 lakhs values as well. But the issue comes here is that every time an input comes from the user, okay, it can be used, but when the loop repeats and a new value comes, let's say I put only 5, then it will override the old value and I get a new value. When the loop repeats, I can put another value, it will override the old value. So what happens? At the end of the day, I am going to lose all the previous values, only the current value stays with me. I am not able to take the whole data. Whereas in practical life, if you see, there is something called set of data. Set of data being used. What is set of data now? A set of data could be marks in your class. I want to know who's got highest in my class. Your first sem result has come. I'm sure your school must have tried to say that who's topped and who's come second and whatever. In that case, your school must have the data of all students. So that is called one set, a data that has some logical relation with each other. All right, then only you can take. I can't take one student from class 1, one student from class 2, 3 like that and say who's first. That's illogical data. There's no logical connection. So I can say who's tallest in my class, then I have a height of all the students of my class. Who's like, eldest in my class, then I may have a date of birth of all the students from my class. Who's first in my class, then I should have marks of all students in my class. That makes a set of data. There is something common. And you will find in real life, there will always be a lot of set of data. You can have a group, your WhatsApp group, one group. Right now, all those who are in a group, there is one set of data belong to one particular place. Okay, you may have a separate friend circle set. You may have a separate family set. So all set of data is one particular entity on which a lot of things can be done. The simplest example I can give you is your contact list. If you look at your mobile contact list is, you will not have anybody's phone in your contact list. In fact, you will have all the students who are studying or who are rather say knowing to you in your contact list. Is it? So in that case, that is your contact list if you see the set. Now, if you look at your contact list, if you note down that all the data or all the names are always in alphabetical order. If you try and see, irrespective of when did you receive the data, when did you receive somebody's name or number, it automatically goes into alphabetical order. So it talks about sorting. All right, on a set of, when can I sort? Only when I already have a data on that. Then you can do search. If I want to know somebody's number, say whose number you have, immediately you start typing and computer will start popping up the list. And you'll see from the same list, we are able to search the data. So any type of a operation that you want to do on the entire set of data, array is very useful. It allows you to store set of data, all right, in your computer. So in that case, we need to make use of array. You can't make use of old method. Okay, so here we start with understanding what is this array. So all of you must focus on this. Okay, the meaning of the term array is coming up, and then we are going to see how we are going to use it. Okay, now here, what do we understand? So we say, okay, in array, we will have multiple data, lot of data like marks of all the students. So multiple data having some similar property, you can say common property as well. Okay, common property, like in my class, all students belong to my class, or in ICSE, all students belong to ICSE. So that's the common properties stored under a single variable. So we're going to make use of only single variable. Unlike in the previous method, 10 data, 10 variables. Now you will have only one variable stored under a single variable is called an array. So you're going to have many data being stored, but they should have some common property being stored under a single variable. We call that as an array. Now, how do you write? So here is your syntax. Okay, so I'll just change the color because anyway getting mixed up with the red color. So let's take this as a blue color. So here is your syntax. You need to have a data type, like in the old, in your original, what you used to say, int a is equal to 5. So there is a data type, there is a variable, all right, there is a data value. Here also you'll have, but here you'll have data type, of course, but the variable here which can store many values is called a subscript variable. These are called individual variables. This is called a subscript variable because it has a data divided, subdivided here. There has to be a box bracket. This is a box bracket is equal to, you will have a curly bracket, data 1, data 2, data 3. I can write n number of data. Okay, how many hour data that I want, and I will close this with a bracket and a semicolon. So this is a set. This set of data should have some common feature, and they all have to be the data type of this similar data type. It can absorb this. All right, how many values I want, they all can be stored. So for example, if I take data type as int, variable is num, there is a box bracket. This indicates to the computer this is not an individual variable. It will have multiple values, is equal to all these values goes in. Now when these values goes in, first value, so how computer will store in the memory? So it will store in the memory under num all the values in the order of what is been written over here. So 469261, 469261. Now each of this box is going to be of 4 byte size. If you understand this way, integer occupies 4 bytes. In your first sem, you must have learned the memory size of each type. So each one is 4 bytes because each one is an integer. So 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. I can ask you in the exam a question as well. One moment, Angad. I can ask you in the exam a question as well. Okay, a particular set of value and what much memory this particular data or this particular variable can occupy. So this 4 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4, 6 are 24 bytes. Yes, Angad, you have a question. Please go ahead.
Sir, I'm not getting how does an array save memory?
Okay, I'll get back to you. Yeah, one moment. I'll go back. You know this method. First, you must have learned.
Yes.
Okay, first time you learned this. This logically int means it takes 4 bytes. All right, for this much data to store. So this each box is equal to 4 bytes. Okay, computer, if you recollect your first sem, computer Java is known as 2 byte code. Each character of Java takes 2 bytes. So this is 2 bytes, this is 4 bytes. 2 bytes, 4 bytes. Now, if you look at it practically, what is useful for a computer user is this value. So in your mobile, what is useful for you is the mobile numbers, the contact list and the name. You are not interested in which variable that program is used to store what. Do you agree with this? I'm not.
Yes, sir.
I am not interested what variable is reading my value and what variable is storing. I am interested in, I want to view my list, I am able to view. I want to call someone, I am able to call it. That's it. So you don't know what's happening inside it, but practically if you look at a Java point of view, then each character is 2 bytes and each data here being int is 4 bytes. Okay, so this is 4 and 2, 6 bytes are used only for one data value to store. Right, so if I have 4 data, I have to multiply. So now that becomes too complicated. So what I for the safety sake, what I said, assuming that each variable is taking one memory box and each data is taking another memory box. So logically for storing one data, I am making 2 boxes used. Okay, one for variable, one for data. Okay, and now each box is as per the memory size. But let's say this. So logically for 4 data, I need 4 memory box for variable as well. So total I'm using 8 boxes, 4 for memory variable, 4 for the data. Okay, so what is happening here is if I have 5,000 data, then I need 5,000 variables like this to store all 5,000 because then I only know this method. Even if I input at in your public static void main also, it still holds the same thing. If I have 100 values, I have to have 100 variables. So this method will always use nearly double the size of the memory. At the same time, these data are all separate data. They are segregated data. There is no logical relation between them easily possible. Okay. So in that case, when I want multiple data, I want to hold the whole set together. So if I want to find who's first in my class, I need to have the whole set. If I tell you, tell me who's first in your class, your teacher is telling you, okay, then you need all the students' marks. Do you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
If I say that in my class there are 50 students, then logically speaking, all 50 students' marks has to be present. Otherwise, you will not be able to define the result. If I say 5 students are absent, then your result is not right. It has to have all. So the set has to be there in order to decide. Now, if I want a set, then what is there on your screen is not going to be helpful. Okay, the set will come from array.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so array will allow you now, if I look at this, array will allow me that under single variable, all values are there. Okay, now we will learn how to read this entire set one by one, all together, all right, and how we can perform certain processes on this. So this becomes a set of values. Somewhere maths maybe you have no set theory. Do you all have maths means set? That
Ninth.
union, interaction, union. Yeah, A union B, A intersection B and all. This is similar to that, that it is a set of value being put together under a single variable. Now, if you look at it, if I had to follow the olden method, then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values. I need 6 variables and 6 values. So I'm going to use 12 memory cells. But now if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 1 extra, 7. In 7 cells, I could use 6 data. So I am saving my memory. All right. The extra memory which could have gone for extra variables, now I left that and I only use single variable to store all. I can have 1000 data also still under a single variable. So what will happen? Your data is used, your memory is used for storing data rather than too much of variable. But remember, you can't say that I will not have any variable. You have to have some variable to read the data to do some process. Okay, so some loss is always accepted or expected, but bigger loss is not there now because of array. Is that very clear? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the next thing that you need to understand here, okay, let me just clear this. Okay, the next thing we need to understand is when we write here data type, variable, and the value, these data should be of this data type. I cannot write decimal over here, I have to write integer. Okay, now when this gets stored, computer will automatically provide index number. It's like a roll number in your class. Do you all have roll numbers in your class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, we being human being, our counting begins with 1. That's why your teacher may be calling a roll call as roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Whereas here you will have, since it's a computer and it's an auto number, you will not have, all right, you will not have, we are not providing, it's a computer providing. Computer default starting is always 0. So each index here is going to begin with 0. Okay, I mean not each index, each array will begin with an index number 0 and will go on in an increasing order of 1, the serial order of 1, all right, until the last value. If I have 100 more values, this would have gone for all 100 values, this would have also gone till there. All right, so first thing you need to know is if I want multiple values being stored, I should use array. 1, 2, how do you declare an array? So I'm going to show you other data types as well. When you declare an array, it gets into the memory and all data will get stored and they will be auto numbered by the computer, but their auto number will begin with 0.
Sir, so index number of 4 will be 0.
Index number of 4 is 0. Yes, it's like a roll number. Like when you, I don't know how many of you, if anybody is staying in a building, in your building you will have a flat number, floor number, flat number. So I say I stay in A102. So
Yes.
this is num 0 is this one staying. Num 1, this one is staying. Num 2, this one is staying. It's like, you know, it's very similar to that. So you'll be able to relate to that. That in your building, if you look at this, this is a building. If I tell you in a building, count number of floors, you will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But if you actually ask a builder, he'll say, no, sir, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because this is a ground floor, no? Ground floor needs to be made. So he'll say, no, this is a 0. If you try and look at your lift has a 0, right? Ground floor is a 0.
Yes,
So computer default always begins with a 0. Okay. Now, if you look at this, so here is this is what we are saying, that numbers are there, we store them. Now, once we store a number, how do you read that number? All right. So if I have, say, int a is equal to 10, okay, when I say system.out.println a, that's called reading. Reading does not mean you are reading. Reading means you are making computer to read the value and apply in some places. So this is called application. I can also say int x is equal to a plus a, that's also application. I can say for int I is equal to a blah 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 is also an application. I can also say if a greater than 0, that's also reading. So when a variable holds a value and you are using that variable to apply a value for some purpose, either printing or a calculation or a condition checkup, looping, that's called reading a data. Now when you want to read the data must be read using this index number. That's why they have a use. So your subscript variable, because it does not hold one value, it has lots of values. That's how it's called subscript. It contains multiple values under it. All right. So the variable and the index number. So how do we call this? So if I say num and 3, then we generally call it as num of 3. Num of 3. Okay. So if I say num of 4, it means computer will go to num, cell number 4, it will pick up 6 and apply over here. This whole thing means 6. Now when I say, all right, what do you want to do? So if I say num 0, computer will from num 0 will apply 4 over here. Print statement will print that 4 onto the screen. All right. So reading a value, I'm just getting back. Okay. Somebody is raising hand. I'll just get back to you. So reading is very much close connected with how it is being stored. So you need to be very careful as a programmer. When you are writing a value, you need to know this is 0 number 1, 2, 3, 4 like that cell. And if I'm going to apply a variable with the cell number, it means computer will be able to use that, apply like what I showed you here. It will help you applying that. Yes. I'll just call out your name. You can tell me. Yes, Kishore. Krishna is raising hand.
Yeah, sir. Sir, can you again explain what is subscript?
Subscript is basically it's like, you know, if I say a is equal to 10, this is called an individual variable. Okay, it doesn't have anything along with this. Okay, it has only one value and that's it. Whereas if I say a of like this, then this is called a subscript variable because it doesn't have one value. It has many values stored under it. All right, it is expected to have multiple values. I can have a variable with, I can have, let's say, int a like this is equal to 10. I can have one value, but logically you can increase or decrease this number of cells very easily. All right. So it can have its sub part being increased or decreased. That's why we call them a subscript variable.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Kishore, timetable, somebody will in between will come. I'll just inform them. I really have no idea what is this timetable all about. Okay, so I'll just get in touch with the office. They will share with you. Meanwhile, I think quite a good number of us has joined right now. Let me see what's the number right now. 23. And even I've got, I think, a lot of students. Anybody can tell me how many are there online right now? Your YouTube. Okay, let it be. It's not coming up. Anyway, I hope you guys have understood this. So storing a value and reading a value. Now, what if I have data which is of a decimal type? Very important for you all to understand double. If I have a data of a double type, okay, then I will have a double type of a value. But my index number will always be integer. Remember, this index number cannot be decimal. Okay, I am sure you have seen a building where you cannot say, sir, there is a first floor, then 1.5 floor, then 1.25 floor. Like that is not. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. You cannot have a roll number also like that, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and so on. All right. So in that case, you will have index numbers will always be in integer. Okay, irrespective of what type of a data. So if I have stored this first data, next data, next data, next data, and so on. So I can store double. However, I hope many of you were there with me in the last class. What if this was float?
It will print F behind that.
Yes, you need to have F behind each value. Remember this. All right, this could be a trick. Okay, in the exam, I can ask you, you know, which one is a more valid statement, and I have to put F over here. All right, that will be valid. I cannot write without F, otherwise it will give me an error message. Possible lossy conversion. So if it is a float, it must end with F. That is only to indicate to the computer inside memory it will still have the same values. So when I say read num of 2, in num of 2, 9.3 has been brought over here. Because there is a print statement, the value got printed. Okay, similar to this, I can have a string array also. So in a string array, I may have, one moment, yes, yes, Navneet. Navneet, it will show an error message. I will show you, as soon as I finish this, I'll take you to the practical part. I'll show you what error will come. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, once I finish with this, guys, I will get you to a proper practical. See, my Java is here open already. Okay, so if I show you here, Java is here. Okay, once I finish with this, I'll take you practically. Don't worry about it.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, if I want to print all the 5 values.
I'm coming to that. Don't worry about it. Once we finish learning about different types and their value, then we are learning how to read the whole thing. Don't worry. Okay, so now if I have this name, then remember names have to be in double quotes. I'm sure you guys knows that much of string. String has to be stored under a pair of double quotes. So again, these names are there. They are all stored under this variable, first name, next name, and so on. However, if you see, the index numbers are still 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which are integers. So when computer is reading name of 3, in name 3 number cell is John being brought over here, this value is brought here. Print statement is responsible to print this onto the screen. Is that very clear? And then you have the last type of a data in this category is a character. I am expecting an ICSE question on character type data as well. So remember this all. All right, focus on this. If I write a character type of a data with any variable, it must be under a single quote. You can't use a double quote here. So again, this one will go here. S is stored here, T is stored here, and so on. And the index numbers still begin with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So if I say CH of 4 will read K and bring it over here. Print statement is responsible for that. Did you all understand so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'll take you to the practical. Focus here. Okay, a very simple practical to understand first. Okay, guys. So here we start with first a simple array. You have a look at this. Is it visible clearly, or should I increase the font size?
Visual.
Okay, fine. So you see here double A. Now, I hope you all remember your first sem. You can't forget your first sem. Remember that there is a lot relation, though direct question may not come, but indirectly you should know. For example, 4.6F is a float value. Will it go in double? Then the answer is yes. Because float is a smaller data type, it can easily go into a double type. Is that very clear? At the same time, double has also got D possible. Double can also take an integer very easily. Even a float can take an integer very easily because they are all small data type. Double is highest, float is second highest. Okay, so they can easily take. So float has to have F, but because integer is a smaller data type, you don't need F. If you write F, chalega. Otherwise, it will still work. So that basic implicit cast, explicit cast knowledge you should have. So this is going to store the integer values or decimal values. This is storing integer values. Here are your characters being stored. Here is what your string is being stored. Okay, so when I say print A of 2, in A, 0, 1, and 2. 2 is 7.7, which will get printed. B4. In B, 4 numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 is 2, so 2 will get printed. C of 3. In C3, 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 is Z. Z will get printed. And of course, D of 0. In D, 0 number index is Mumbai, so Mumbai will get printed. Okay, now I can have a variable being declared as an integer and I can apply. So x of w means x of 1. W is 1. So x of 1 in x 0 and 1. So one number is 8.9, 8.9 will come. So this is pure storing and reading first, one value. Okay, so I'm going to first close this. I'm going to run this. We go here. Yeah, I'm asking a question. Don't worry. Yeah, all the values have come. If you look at this. Okay, now get back here. Yes, question, Angad.
Sir, if we want to print the actual position, like we will count 1, 2, 3, 4, it's set of 0, what do we add?
I'll come across. Yes, give me some time. I'm just right now showing you how to read the entire array, and then we will go ahead with what you are saying. Okay, so assuming that there are 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so there are so many values there. Okay, I'll just delete this. Sorry. Cut. I hope you remember your loops, guys. You have to know your loops very well, otherwise you will be in trouble. Though loops formal question will not come in ICSE, but without loop you will not be able to do array at all. Okay, now I can easily print here. So if I copy this from here, okay, and I'm just putting it directly, say paste, 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 paste. I can easily say this. Okay, A0, A1, A2, A3, and A4. If you look at logically A0 computer is supposed to print 5, A1 will print 2, A2 will print 8, A3 will print 1. It will print. So if I disable these two lines, my data will work. It's not that it will not work. But then what is wrong with this? See here, my numbers are coming. See, all numbers are coming. But then what is wrong with this?
Sir, because this is time consuming.
Yes, right now there are 5 values, I can directly do it. What if there are 50,000 values? In ICSE, nearly 2.5 lakh students appear every year. Can I write all 2 lakh students like this? It's not possible. So I need to make use of loop. Why? Because if you look at this, they are in serial order 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. They are in serial order. So what we are doing is we are creating a loop which will begin with 0. If you see, now I can write less than 5 or less than equal to 4. Both will be same. Less than 5 means 4, less than equal to 4 means also 4. So I don't need these lines. Instead of this, I've generated a loop and I'm creating a loop and writing here I. So now every value of I computer will apply when the loop will repeat. First time it will be A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, A of 4. So if I compile this and run, my program will show me the answer. There, you can see all data is coming. One moment, let me just. Okay, we'll do this after some time. Let me just. Okay, now anybody has any questions so far to read the entire array? So now A of I, logic is that your loop should generate all the index numbers of the array, and along with the array variable, the subscript variable, if you're going to use that loop variable, logically you know that you are making computer read the entire array. Now what do you want to do with that value? All right, like print, add, check, condition, everything will come inside along with this reading. So you should know that this is going to help me reading the entire thing first. Okay, yes, Krishna, go ahead with your question.
When if we don't know the length of the
I'm coming to that. Don't worry. Okay, now try, please understand this, that I will come across all these things. I'm quite aware of what the syllabus and how it is going to go. So you stay with me. Whatever I'm teaching, focus on that. If you've understood that, slowly, steadily, you will come across everything that you know and that you don't know, everything. So don't worry about it. Just stay with me. Okay, this line is of course not needed as of now. Now, coming here to make us understand, what if I decrease this number or increase? Say example, I'm putting some number. Tell me, will it give me any error message?
No, it will just print the first four index.
Absolutely right. Because computer is able to generate 0 to 4, because it's less than 5, 0 to 4 will give me these numbers. Now it is not going beyond it, so obviously computer will stop there, no error. So here, if I run this program, okay, if I run this program, you can see all the data, but other things are not coming. Okay, and what if I reduce this? So what if I come down to 3 only values?
Sir, still 3 is print.
Will show error.
Will show error.
I'm clicking, I'm saying compile, no syntax error. Now, understand two things. Syntax error means the error due to grammar point of view, computer syntax point of view, there is a number integer required here, which is there. There is an integer required here, I is an integer type, it is there. There is a subscript variable required, is there. So, grammar point of view is not wrong. Okay, but while running this program, it will show me error message. Okay, it will show me this error message. Fine. Now, if you look at this, it shows me array index out of bounds, index 3 out of bounds. So, if you look at this 0, 1 and 2. So, I value will be 0. That time computer will read A0 as 5, A1 as 2 and A3. So, if you look at your answer on your terminal window, if you see 3 values are there. Here, first 3 values. Only when it was 3 number index, which is not there, computer tried to reach and it says array index out of bounds. Can you have everybody keep muting themselves? Please mute yourself.
Yeah, everybody is at mute now.
Yeah. Okay. So I hope you guys have understood that computer could manage to read the data which is there, but when it went beyond its limit, it went there. Now, this is one of the reason you need to know the array length. There is a property of an array which allows me to know how many values are there. So this is what you are going to learn here in this. Okay, the array property. Why do I need to know? So I want to know how many values are there. Now, how many values are there is always going to be human count. The only place computer will use human count is finding length. Length is a property of an array. So if I show you here, okay, one moment, I'll pick a pen. Okay, it is a property of an array and it is used to count and return number of elements present in an array as per human count. Human count. So if I tell you how many numbers are there, you'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I tell you in your class, how many desks are there, how many fans there, how many tubes there at home, how many chairs are there, you'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your human count. Okay, but computer index number always begins with 0. So if you look at this, if I say 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, then your index number starts with 0. So it will always going to be the difference of 1 you will get. Your last index number will always be whatever the length value minus 1. So if the length is 5, this must be 4. And this is how you write the subscript variable dot length. That's your syntax. So if I say, though there is a box bracket, but in finding length, you will not write n dot length. There is no bracket. Remember, it's not a function. It's a property of the array. This is the what do you call the facility provided for using an array. Okay, so here you will find length will help you finding how many, irrespective of how big the array is. length will help me finding out, and if I know the value, the last index number will always be. So in my loop, I can straight say less than n dot length. N dot length in this case logically is 5. I less than 5 means 4. Okay, so computer will generate. So we will learn to generate this value into the computer. So if I come here, okay, and if I just print, okay, just print over here. So I have this line, so I'm going to make use of this line. I already kept this line ready. And I'm putting it over here. Okay, number of elements is a dot length. Just to show you here. Okay, and the same thing I'm going to apply here, a dot length over here. Copy and paste. So now what will happen? So there are 3 values. This answer will show me 3. Computer will apply here also 3. But I less than 3 means 2. We begin with 0. So 0, 0, 1 and 2. So computer will apply here 0, 1 and 2, which is 0 number index, 1 number index and 2 number index. So computer will now read all the values from here. So you look at this. You look at this, you can see there are 3 elements and this is 0 index, 1, 2, 1 and 2. Now, if I increase the number of elements, say example, I come here, I put something over here. I don't know how many values are there, but last value I'm keeping as 0 and the first value I'll keep here as, excuse me, yeah. First number I am putting here as say 25. Okay. So now if I compile this, length will find out how many values automatically. You can see last value 100 has come. My first value 25 has also come. There are 18 elements. So they will be numbered as 0 to 70. Is that very clear with us, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anybody like to take some screenshot or something? Please go ahead. Though you don't need actually scanner and everything over here. Logically, you don't need. I must have been doing something with some other student. That's why you don't need this. This is reading the entire. Somebody was asking how to read the array, the entire array value, irrespective of how many values increase, decrease. Length will help me. Going from 0 is a fixed index. First, it is the last index that you need to know, which you will come to know that always whatever is your dot length minus 1. So that's how you are able to apply this I less than a dot length. So it will go till the second last. All right. I mean the last cell value. Do you all have any question, doubt, difficulty?
No,
Anybody
sir.
wants to take a screenshot or something? Please go ahead. Huh?
Taken, sir.
Can you go to the array note, to the dot length notes, sir? The length notes.
Okay, wait, I'll remove this. Wait. Yeah.
So are these notes going to be there on in the course or?
Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you here. No need to take a what do you call the screenshot here. Here is my notes part of it. The meaning of array has been explained. All right. All the definitions. All right. The syntax, the examples, everything is mentioned over here. So don't worry about it. Okay. Rough box will send you this. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So we have, if I just talk about rough box, let me tell you, along with me, there are some good quality teachers here, and they are really good as far as their content knowledge is concerned. Extremely talented. I know many of them personally also. Okay, so they all have their some expertise in this field, in their own subject field. So in case you have any friends or something, you should actually help them, tell them to join this, because we believe that a lot of people are not able to do syllabus that well. And that's one of the reasons that we've taken this challenge of ensuring that we try our best to give our best to everyone. Okay, so if you've seen how the previous teacher, we are teaching, even others are good. So there are a lot of rough box courses are there. You should try not only for yourself, but also with your other friends. In case anybody wants, I'll give you my coupon code. You can use this, you'll get some good discount as well from my end. Okay, so if I use my coupon code also, you'll get some discount. Okay, I'll give you in between some. let's get to the business. All right, so I hope you guys have understood the length part of it.
Yes.
Okay, notes
Yes,
will
sir.
come. Don't worry, these notes along with there are questions also. Some answers are solved, some questions are unsolved. All right, as and when we progress, we will also try and see. I'm showing you some of the questions, and of course, if the time permits, we will definitely try and do some kind of. Let me see this. Yeah, we'll definitely try and do some ICC questions as well. Okay, now let's get to the business. So yes, we were here. Now, okay. So I've got some numbers here. So we know these are 6 numbers. So my dot length will be 6. This is supposed to be 6. So I less than 6 means up to 5. So 0 to 5 computer will generate 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, 3 index, 4 index and 5 index. Suppose I want to know which index. I can straight print the value of I. So I can straight put here I value, some space here. So in which index what value is present, I will come to know. It's a very simple concept. So in 0 number index there is 5, in 1 number index there is 2, 2 number index there is 8, 3 number index and so on up to 5 number index. Did you understand this? This is the index position. Now somebody asked me, what about human position? If I say, remember, always remember, in the exam, suppose if they've not given what position to take, it is always user. Just try and figure out when you're using a mobile phone. Okay, somebody has made this program for contact. Is the person aware of it, that who is going to use this program?
No, sir.
As a programmer, you'll never know who is going to use your program. All right, but at the same time, let's put it the other way. If I am the user, I am going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inside computer, whatever it can take. But according to me as a user, how many phone numbers are there? I'll say 500 phone numbers, 20 phone numbers, 25 phone numbers. All right, if you look at your participant list in your WhatsApp or whatever group, you will say I've got 20 participants, 5. Even now also, if you look at your Zoom, how many participants are there counted? That's a human count, isn't it? If you look at your thing, it's a human count. So
Yes.
if nothing is mentioned, it is always a human count. And human count will always going to be one more than the computer index number. So when 0 number index, the actual position is 1. So according to human, in first position there is 5, in second position there is 2. Okay, so I'm going to make it 12. In third position is going to be 8, fourth position is going to be this, and so and so. So when I'm going to compile, one moment, bacha. When I'm going to compile and run, I'm getting in which position is what. So human point of view, it is always +1. But computer index position point of view, it is always the loop variable. Yes, you have a question, somebody.
Sir, we can directly make change in the for loop. I is equal to 1, or we have to do.
No, if you say I is equal to 1, no, computer will start reading from here.
Okay.
Are you getting? You see, I'll show you here. 1. It will give me from 1, but it will skip the 0 number. First value is gone. Though it is showing you, because dot length is going to count how many values, but we are reading from which index. So remember, understand all of y'all. Okay, concept is that this particular thing is called reading. This is reading. We are making computer read. Bring from memory over here the value. Okay, bring from memory this value over here and print this. So there are two different things. Reading from computer and printing are two. So I'm making computer read A0, A1. So here is A1. So it is not going to read A0 because there is no 0. So computer is reading from here and printing these values. So remember this, you have to be very careful while reading that what you are making computer read. Always remember, array must begin with 0. It is the ending which matters. Are we very clear with this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now Let us say that I want to find out sum of all the values. Okay, total of all these values, just like that. If I want to find, if anybody wants to take any screenshot or something, please go ahead.
So you can continue.
Okay.
Can continue.
Now, say example, I want to find sum of all these numbers. I don't need now any length because I'm aware of it length now. Say I want to find what is the total of all this number, 5 plus 2 plus 3. I mean, you know, in my school, my principal wants to know what's the average mark of each subject. So in all English students, we will find the total. We'll say divide by the number of students who've taken English. Okay, like that. If I want, so if I want to find the total of all the students, okay, then I'm going to apply that accumulator that we have learned. So we'll say, let's say int s is equal to 0. This is going to be my accumulator. Now, instead of printing this, so I don't need this, I'll say straight cut from here, and I'll say s is equal to s plus this value. So now if you look at it, the value is being read, but it's not read for printing. It is read for totaling. So what will happen here now? Computer will read all the values. So I'll just show you one moment. Okay. So computer will read now all the values and computer will add it. So for example, so I'll reduce one more value just for the sake of understanding. A0 is going to read 5. So first time s is 0. 0 plus 5, computer will now override the value of s with 5. When the loop repeats, A1 is going to read 2, but s is already 5 now. So 5 plus 2, it will become 7. The loop repeats, A2 is going to read 8, s is already 7. 7 plus 8 will become 15. When the loop repeats, A3 is going to read this 4. A 4 is applied, but s is applying 15 plus 4 will become 19. When the loop repeats, all right, A4 is going to read 6, apply it over here, and 19 plus 6 becomes 25. Now the loop is over. So when we come out, I can straight say here sum is equal to this. So I'll get the number over here. So I'm able to now find, all right, sum of all the values. So even if there are 1000 values, all ka sum will come here. Suppose I want to print both. I want to print the value and the sum. I can print it both. So I'm going to say here paste, and here I'm going to say print a of I. Remember this, like if you've seen loop previously, I can easily print the value, recover the value, read the value how many times I want. When computer is reading I as 0, A0 will read 5. Here also A0 will read 5. Same value is read 2 times until computer will change this to I value as 1. Then A1 will read 2. Here also A1 will read 2. So both the places will read 2. Yes, I'm getting back. Please wait. Okay, so compile if I say and run, computer is going to print both the values and at the end, because it was being added as well. So I am instructing computer print as well as sum, both. Is that very clear? Yes. Asta, you have a problem? Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, if we got the question to print the pattern, what pattern? So we can use that method.
Bacha, you don't have pattern in your ICSE.
Okay.
ICSE mein you will not be asked pattern at all. 101%, take my word.
Okay, sir. So if it will be there in switch case, that first line it will be there.
But sir, you will not be asked any question related to switch case. You will not be asked any question related to pattern. Pattern is out of syllabus. Switch case was first sem. Okay, you take my word. In spite of that, you need something after the class. If you want, I'll help you out. But I think this is the class we will learn only about array. All right. Whatever is being taught in here is a part of your syllabus. 101% I can take a, you can vouch on this. I can give you guarantee on this. Okay, I am teaching in one of the very big school. All right, I can't afford to have a wrong syllabus.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so don't worry about it. Is there anybody from my school here? They generally don't come. They must be otherwise on. My school is exam going on, so that's why they are not there. Otherwise, a lot of students would come here. Anyway, so don't worry about it. Okay, Asta. No, you won't get any question on pattern
Okay, sir.
at all. Take my words.
Okay, sir.
And if it comes now, I can give you guarantee you'll get free marks. Don't worry about it.
Thank
Okay,
you, sir.
Angad. Angad, you have a question.
Yes, sir. So if we want to like find the product of all those.
I'm doing that. I'm doing it. As and when we go ahead, yes, we are doing it. So I hope you guys have understood that I can use the same variable for both the purpose, various purposes. It is not necessary. As long as this variable is used inside the loop, where it is using the loop variable in the box and the array variable, the subscript variable for reading, logically we are making computer reading the entire array. Now, what do you want to do with each? It is coming up. Is it? So anybody wants to take a kind of a screenshot or something, please go ahead.
So you
Done,
can.
sir.
All right. Now, for example, I want to check, like this child is asking me right now, what if I want to check for some value? For example, let's say I want to, I'm putting here two values, here one negative, okay, two of them negative. I want to only find sum of positive numbers. Okay, I want to find sum of positive numbers only. From a list of numbers, array is given to me, only positive values. So a value is read by A of I. I'm sure now we all know a value is read by A of I. We are aware of it. But I want to say that if this value, so I'm going to say if this value is positive, positive is greater than 0. If this value is positive, then you find a sum. So now if you want, you can give a bracket. One line will work without a bracket. Okay. But I'm just keeping for the sake of understanding. So computer is printing here is checking here A of I. So first time computer will apply 5. If 5 greater than 0 is true, it will be added. So yes, it is added. So first time 0 plus 5 is 5. Okay, 5 will get printed as well. Now, computer will read -2 because that's your next value. -2 greater than 0 is false. So only the value will get printed. Next value is applied. 8 greater than 0 is true. So 5 plus 8 will become 13. After this, 5 will get printed as well because 8 will get printed as well because it's printing A of I. So 8 is applied here, 8 is applied here, 8 is applied here as well. Now the loop repeats, reads -4. -4 greater than 0 is a false statement. So computer will not go inside, but it will print that -4. And the last value 6, 6 greater than 0 is true. So 13 plus 6 will become 19. Okay, now here I'm putting a message, sum of positive numbers is equal to. So now I'll get 19, but I will also get all the numbers present and then I'll get sum of positive first. There. You can see.
Yes.
Now, assuming as of now, there is no 0 over here. So assuming that I want to also find product of negative numbers. So sum is a separate, product is a separate. These are two different things. So I need two different variables, one for sum, another for product. So I'm going to say here, comma, say product is equal to, can somebody tell me what should I write? 0?
1, sir.
Why 1?
Sir, anything multiplied by 0 is 0.
Absolutely right. So in a product, you have to be careful. You have to declare it with 1. So now logically looking at this, if the number is greater than 0 is a positive, otherwise logically it is a negative. Lots of students are making mistake with this box bracket. You need to be careful, all of you all. Okay. So now I am making computer, sorry. I'm making computer print, sorry, not print, calculating. So every value computer will read same value. So first value is 5. 5 greater than 0 is true. So it got added. Okay. Now logically, I hope you all know your conditions. If the condition is true, after this pointer will state move out. It will not go to else part. Now, please wait. I'll just get back to you. Okay. If the number is next time read is -2, -2 greater than 0 is false. So computer will not go inside. It will go into else part and it will get multiplied. So first time it is 1 into -2 will become -2. Yes, Navneet.
So what if there is no negative numbers?
There is no negative numbers, then we will have to ensure if there is no negative number, logically speaking, okay, in your data set it's already given. But if suppose if there is no negative number, you can apply a condition over here as well. Along with this, you put a counter at the end. You can check for a counter that if counter is greater than equal to 0, then there is no negative number. We don't print. So there are a lot of ifs and buts condition you can make use of it. But right now we follow what is given. So in a number of students have come across this kind of a question. What if this? What if that? Huh? Always remember, in ICSE, you are not writing a professional program. Okay, a professional program can check for every possibility. But in a school program, what is data given to you? If it is said that positive and negative, then you will only follow positive and negative. Then you will not talk about what if this, what if that. Is that very clear? But yes, if you want to do, you can always apply. I can put a counter to check whether the positive numbers are there, not there. Check for a counting whether it is greater than 0, then it is printing. Otherwise, it's an invalid. So many things I can do. That is all if conditions. So right now we are just doing a very simple thing is our data value is there. We are reading the data value. If the value is greater than 0, we add it. If the value is not greater than 0, it is assumed to be lesser than 0. Now, what if there is a 0? Will you count this as a positive or a negative, and why? Say I have given you this as a data and say print sum of all positive, product of all negative. So 0 will be what?
So it will go in neither positive nor negative.
We will count 0 as positive. Why? Because there is nothing called -0. Is there anything called -0?
No, sir.
No.
Right. And a number without a sign is always considered as positive. Agreed?
Yes.
So what am I going to do? I'm going to just apply here equal. Now 0 will be counted over here automatically. Are you all understanding this? Logically,
Yes.
there is nothing called -0. And at the same time, a number without sign is always a positive. So 0 will always be counted as positive. Unless specified that do not count 0 or count how many zeros, then there can be another else if. But otherwise, it's like this. Is that very clear? Now, once I finish this, I need to know what is the total number of positives and negatives. So I'm going to apply over here product of negative number and I'm going to print here P. So now we know -2 into -4 and sum is already being given to you. So all the values are there present here. You can see. Did you all understand this? Do you have any question,
Yes.
doubt, difficulty?
So
The
I
idea
wanted
over
to,
here, yes.
so I wanted to ask, like you said, for product, it was 1. You should need to take product's value as 1. So can you also tell what's for division and
You can't find, you cannot have division के लिए 5 upon 2 upon 8 upon 9 upon like that. It will be either sum or a product only.
okay.
It is not maximum you can be have a difference which is again a 0. You cannot have division or a modulus being asked for this. Okay. In case it being asked, you start with 0. Only product will be 1. Yes, Rudra.
So I have a doubt, sir, like in one of the RA questions.
Right
Can I
now,
ask?
what I have taught, no, you will not ask anything other than what I have asked. Taught. Until I
Okay, sir.
finish, don't ask questions on them.
Okay,
Anybody has any questions so far? Yes, go ahead, Asta.
So there you had taught that P equals 1. Product you have initialized 1. We can't take a double prod equals 0.
You can take bacha double. It's okay to take a double, but logically, when you see if there are two integers being added or multiplied, your logical answer is integer, na?
Yes, sir.
If any one of them is decimal, then only decimal is necessary. Otherwise, you can safely take integer. So when you are doing any kind of a calculation, your idea should be first to see is there any chance of any 1% also decimal, then you take them as double. But if there's all integers, all right, then you should take integer on. Only in case of division, you should take double, because when you divide, there's a greater chance of getting output as in decimal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now,
Yes, sir.
apart from this, let me see what time is. I still have a little time. Okay, apart from this, we will first go ahead learning. So this part is done. We will also learn how to input values. In ICSE, you will 100% get a question on inputting values more than directly storing. Okay, so what is an input value? So before I get into this, let me just show you here. Let's say I get into Excel. I'm sure you all have seen MS Excel.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, when you start with your MS Excel, your first screen will look somewhat like this. Wait, my system is slow. Yeah. Yeah, you can see this is your empty sheet. This is sheet 1. Okay, I'm sure you know this is a cell. I can put a value. Oh, sorry. If I make a little bigger. You can see all the values being put up. So what's the logic in Excel? Whenever you start with empty, and then you allow user to input values. So I, being a user, I started inputting the values. So first, the sheet started with empty cells. So in an input value also, in Java, if you want user to input a value, then the first thing you need to do is you need to create an empty array. You create an empty array. So how do you create an empty array? All right, and then how do you input this? So if you look at this, declaring an empty array. So you need to have target data type. What is your data type that you want user to input? The variable which we call subscript variable. This is a box bracket. Okay, I could not manage to do this. So this is a box bracket is equal to new. I'm sure in the previous class, in a same one also you learned how to create an object. So here is a new which will help you to create an array. Same type data type as your target. So this must match. Okay, and this is human count. Human count number of cells. So if I say 5, so here is target data type integer, subscript variable num, box bracket is here, is equal to new. Same data type as my target, and 5. 5 is the number of cell that I want computer to create. So inside memory, all right, it will not be shown to you, but inside memory, num is going to hold 5 empty cells. Each cell is capable of taking one complete integer. Okay, but their numbering, index numbering will be 0 to 4 only. Though this is 5, okay, but it will always going to be 0 onwards, so 0 to 4. So first, in normal array, when you declare an array, you store like this. But when you create an empty array, it will just create. If this would have been there, computer would have taken num with 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and they will also be numbered as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But because you have written this, computers created an empty array first and then given them the number. So first thing is, without this you cannot input. So we created an array. Now I want computer to input a value into num of 1, then num of 2, and num of 3, num of 4, and num of 5. I want computer to put the values. So there are various ways. One is directly input from the user. another you can generate the value and also store it. Okay, so what is this? Okay, so first, okay, sorry, first we will see if I declare an array of decimal type, I may say double num is equal to new double 7. So there are 7 values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but they are numbered from 0 to 6. If it was a string, I would say string names, name is a variable, is equal to new string 10. It means name will start with 10, which will be numbered from 0 to 9. And if it is a character array with the 5 values, I can say ch is equal to new char of 5, and ch will store value with 5 cells. So these are empty cells being created. Do you have a question in creation of empty cell?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, now storing, there are few ways. So all the ways I've shown here. So focus here. Okay, I'll show you one at a time. Okay, one I can straight store like this. A0 is equal to 10, A1 is equal to 25. Its computer will still store. But we don't need this because this is not an input. This has to be written inside the program. I can generate a loop 0 to the length. Now we know if there are 10 cells, then 0 to 9 computer will say if this is 10, 0 to 10 means 0 to 9 computer will generate, which is here. You can see in this place. Now I can say a of I is equal to I plus 1. So whatever is the I value plus 1 will go over here. So A0 will store 1, A1 will store 2, A2 will store 3, and so on and so forth. I can store all the values. This is called generated numbers. Okay, I can say I is equal to I plus 2 also. I can take whatever. So it depends on what I want, I can generate. Okay, and if it is input from the user, I need scanner. I'm sure you all guys are aware of scanner.
Yes, sir.
So we have created an empty array.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so array is created. So A will store. Okay, A will have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They will be numbered as 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now my loop is going to start with 0. Less than 5 means 4. So 0 to 4. Now I am asking user enter an integer. So suppose user has put 3 over here. So A0, because first value is 0, A0 will store 3 over here. The loop repeats. Another number is asked. Let's say this time I put 7. Then A1, because the loop has repeated, value of I has changed from 0 to 1. A1 will store 7. After this, when the loop repeats and again becomes A2, this time I put 2, let's say 4. Then A2 will store 4. Loop repeats. In A3, let's say I input here 8. Then computer will store 8. The loop repeats, it becomes A4. Let's say this time I put 9, computer will store 9. So by the time this is over, your loop is over because we are going from 0 to the length. So values that has been stored in an empty array now can be used for any process or print or whatever. So we have a print. So print also goes from 0 to the length. A0, A1, A2, A3, A4. So A0 is storing 3, A1 is storing 7, A2 is storing 4, 8, and 9 will get printed on the screen. So input, print. Of course, in between you will have process as well, but we don't have right now process done. All right, in creating. So create an array, input a value. If there is a process, we do the process and we print as well. Is that very clear with us, all of you? Any question, doubt? Yes,
sir.
Please go ahead. So we stored how to input a value, how to store a value, how to read a value. Okay. Okay, I'll show you now input ka practical part of it. So let's say I have here an input. So I have an array with 5 cells. We've opened. We've allowed user to go from 0 to the length, enter, okay, age of the student. Okay, age of the age of. So this is going to allow user to input only. This is going to allow user to print. So I'm just printing one statement over here. Copy. Data printing. What is happened? Okay. Okay. Now data printing is happening. At the same time, I'm putting here print this. Okay. So now if I run this program, it is allowing me to input a value. So I'm putting numbers 3, 5, 7, 9, 2. 3, 5, 7, 9, 2. All got printed. Storing, printing. Did you all understand the basic concept, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So why did you put system.out.println blank?
Just to keep a gap in between. Otherwise, they'll get merged with what is input and all. This is not necessary. Okay, but just to keep a gap in between. Blank line.
Okay.
So here you'll be needing scanner as well. Since you're using scanner, you'll be using java.util. Okay. And of course, because you are using scanner, you'll use dot next in because it's an integer. So if this would have been a decimal, computer will put here double. Obviously, here will be next double. Is that very clear?
Yes.
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 Yes, sir.
Anybody wants to take any screenshot or something, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. The guys who are on the rough box already enrolled with the course, please ensure that you tell these guys, rough box people, to create your WhatsApp group.
It's already done, sir.
Already done?
Sir, it's already.
Under what name I can copy paste these programs were there? No, you don't have to take a screenshot there. Send me hi. Send me hi on WhatsApp. Someone. This is a group.
Yes,
sir.
Is this the group?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
fine. I'll copy this program. So next time I'll just copy and paste this program, so you guys don't have to take a screenshot. It will always be there. You can copy and paste there so that it's working always. Fair enough?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So while like using the scanner class, can we use Blue.js system and is there? So like, should we use that also?
I didn't get you, bacha.
So now we are using scanner class now, sir. For
You guys have data input stream reader.
we can use it, sir.
No, bacha. As per ICSE rule, scanner, data input stream and input stream reader is not part of your syllabus. You're not supposed to use. You'll end up losing marks. Okay, you'll end up losing marks. You're supposed to use scanner only because that's the part of your syllabus. There are so many shortcuts available in Java on online also. If you actually use shortcuts, there are many programs of 100 lines also becomes 10 line ka program. So you're not supposed to use shortcuts. You're supposed to use only from what is syllabus given. So if your teacher is doing this, tell your teacher that we are supposed to use scanner because it's given if you look at your syllabus. And if at all you don't have, all right, I think I don't know how you're going to go and tell your teacher, but probably you should show your what do you call the syllabus there. That there's nowhere use data input stream. It's all scanner.
So they even telling to do with the Blue.js system also, sir.
No, bacha, it has to be only scanner. Apart from scanner you use, it's not allowed. And if you're using input over here also, no, it's not allowed. It has to be done using scanner only. Okay, make it very clear.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Sir, I have not been added in the WhatsApp group yet.
that you'll have to tell Roughbox I am not the admin. Call Samir sir or someone now that you must have got some office number. No, tell them they'll do the needful.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so guys, I hope you guys have understood. Now, assuming that I want to add here, say assuming 5 numbers are input here, and I want to find sum of positive and sum of negative numbers here. There are various ways. Okay, I'm not saying that what I'm teaching is the way. There are many ways you can do this. Okay, but assuming that input is coming, I've taken the data from the user. So let us say instead of printing the data now, we are going to go back reading the data like we did the previously, and I'm going to say here, so I'm going to declare here a value. What happened here? So first I'm finding sum of positive numbers, or this time I'm say odd and even numbers. Okay, so I'm writing here, say s is equal to 0. Now how do I say a number is odd or even? Can somebody tell me?
Sir, if
Sir,
it's
divide by
greater
2.
than
Divide by 2 is equal to 0.
Yes. So a of I is going to read all the values, but I want to say if.
say if AI mod 2 equal 0, it's
AI
even.
modulus
If
2
it's
is equal
not
to
in
2.
Correct. So I want odd numbers ka sum. So if I say a of I modulus 2 equals to 1, because odd number will always give you 1, then you say s is equal to s plus a of I. This a of I is very important part. Remember, lot of children are making mistake. I've just finished correcting my school papers in prelim. Lots of children are not able to still recollect that you have to write while reading array. You have to write array variable and the index number. If you do not write this, it will not work. So now if the number is odd, we are adding it. Okay, and let's say we are putting this bracket here. So logically all the numbers are read. Okay, and wherever the number was found odd is being added. So I'm just writing here sum of odd numbers is equal to s. So now I'm going to put 5 numbers. Okay, let's see which are the 5 numbers, and we'll see whichever is the odd numbers, they will get added and printed over here. So I'm compiling here. There goes. Okay, I think one extra bracket. Yeah. Compile, close, and I input here. So now this number. So first odd number. Okay, first number is even. Sorry, where is it? 2 is even number. 3 is odd number. 4 is even number. 5 is odd number. And let's say 7. So now logically 3 and 5, 8 and 7. 15 is your answer. Is that very clear with us, all of you all? So we
Yes.
managed to find sum of odd numbers. Let's say you have a product of even numbers. Okay. So I'll say else. I can also write mod 2 is equal to 0 again, but logically if you look at this number series is odd even, odd even, odd even. So I am saying here p is equal to p into a of I. So if, sorry, logically if this number is odd, it will get added. So if it is not odd, it means it is even, it will get multiplied. So for that I'm going to say comma p is equal to 1.
Clarify knowledge.
Okay, so now it's being defined, p is equal to 1, and I just have to say print this. So copy, and I say paste. I say product of even numbers is equal to p. So again I'm going to compile this, close this, and we put still the same number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at this. Are you getting product of even number? 2 4s are 8, 6 are 48, correct. And 3 and 5, 8. Yes, question. We start with Priyanshu. Priyanshu, you have a question. You've raised your hand. Ayush Abhyankar, you also raised your hand.
Yes, sir. Yes, I had a question.
Go
So
ahead.
when do we know we have to initialize a value?
Initialize a value is given in which value? This value you are talking about?
Yes, sir.
Whenever you use an accumulator, accumulator is a process of adding or multiplying the values, a list of values together. So when you know that I am going to have many values to add, all right, this becomes your, this is your accumulator side, and this is the value that you want to add. This is your accumulator side, and this is the value that you want to multiply. Accumulator can be adding, multiplying, subtracting, anything. Okay, so whenever you feel that a list of values, so if suppose 5,000 values are there, and if you're going to add, you can't write a equal to 1, b equal to 2, c equal to 3, like that 5,000 variables. All right, so you will have one variable which will keep on absorbing. So the logic here is, I'll just give you a gist of understanding here, those guys who were not present with me for SEM. Okay, so if I tell you here, okay, if I tell you here, please keep your all yourself mute, all of you. So if I tell you here, say for example, for int I is equal to 1 less than equal to 5 and I is equal to I plus 1. Okay, now logically tell me what are the values of I here? Who's asking?
So
Ayush, no?
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Now what is the use of this line?
It increments the
I
value.
plus.
So logically, this side is your accumulation side. This is the value that you want to add. Every time computer will come across this line, current value plus 1 will be totaled and becomes a new value. Do you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now what is the logic computer understands? Okay, computer says if there are 5 values, Priyanshu, if you can keep your mic mute, please. Bacha. Now, say example, if there are 5 values and I want to total them, computer doesn't say that take a equal to 1, b equal to 2, c. Computer says you take a value, all right, something like a 0, because in numeric there is no number means 0. Okay, so he says 0 plus first number becomes 1, this number plus the next number becomes 3, this number plus the next number 6, 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 15. This must be the total of all these values. So what it says, as soon as the value is generated, you need to add it. Now for that, you need one initial value, that's a starting value, and you need the generated value being stored. So when I say S is equal to S plus I, it is I which is supplying me from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. S, I have to begin with 0 because starting with first time computer doesn't have a value. All right, so you have to have something. So when do you use? When you use a variable itself in the expression. For further totaling, it should start with something, because in the first set, it has to be 0 plus 1 is 1. Now, every time the loop repeats, it is going to supply me the new value 2. So I is 2, but S is 1. So 1 plus 2 becomes 3. When the next value is 3 plus this 3 will become 6. Next time 6 plus 4 will become 10. Next time 10 plus 5 will become 15. This will keep on adding every value. So this side is your accumulation side, which is accumulating the value which are coming from I. Okay, since you are using accumulator, the variable, storing variable itself is being used inside your expression. It should be having an initial value, otherwise it will not work. Is that very clear?
So basically, when there's when a mathematical equation is involved.
No, same variable. No, not involved. When the same variable, the S is being used inside. See, if you look at here, where is it? Yeah. If you look at here, it is S is being utilized inside itself in the expression. P is being utilized inside the expression itself. So now Since it is going to be utilized, first time what value it should take? So it should take starting value. That's how you need an initial value. Is that very clear?
Okay,
Sir,
clear.
why you wrote there x comma c, sir? Int x
Let's see,
comma
I must
x.
have been using somewhere. Okay, I must have used somewhere. Now I must change the whole program. Okay. If you have any extra variable declared, it won't have any problem. Yes, somebody send me a message. One moment. Okay, my discount code is Prakash 20. So all those who are interested in any kind of a course joining or something somewhere, whether all subject or partly subject, math, science, there are many options there. You should actually call them and talk. These are very nice people that I have come across. Okay, so if you use my coupon code, you will get, I think, some discount, 20% or something discount will come. Just see all those online, offline, all those are on YouTube channel also. You can make use of my code, all right, to get now I've just sent. Okay, let me see. It is host and cost. Okay, I'll write everyone. Am I everyone now? Yeah. Okay. This is my coupon code. Okay, so all of you can make use of this. You will get some discount there. All right. At the same time, lot of other subjects are there. There are some good quality teachers. This is a real good quality bunch of teachers that we have here. You should try, and if you can take, because they will really go through all the entire syllabus well. At the same time, there will be a lot of tests which will be sent to you as well, so you will be able to test yourself as well. Anyway, I hope you have understood what I have taught. Okay, I'm going to copy this.
Yes,
Take copy, and I go to YouTube. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I quickly recap what we did today. Okay, today's topic. See, I'm not doing a test for today. Okay, after I finish with linear search, I will start doing the test and everything. Okay, this is just an introductory part. So what we learned is that array, you can store multiple values under a single variable. You can have a decimal value, you can have an integer, you can have a character type, you can have a string type. For string type, you should have double quotes. For character type, you should have a single quotes. Okay, then reading a variable, you must have an array variable with the index position. Index positions are always 0 onwards. First data value is always 0 index, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Many more index will go on. Okay, so how many data you have? You can have 1000 data, all will automatically get indexed. All right, you can make use of it. Then what we learned also here, that one moment, close this. Then what we learned here is also that we can make use of an array, all right, to read all the values by using dot length. The dot length will give you output of total value of human count. It's a property of an array. It allows you to count the entire array values, elements. The values are known as element. It's not positive, negative, integer, non, all. Even there are names, they are called elements. Okay, so how many elements are there in any array? You will find from the dot length function. So you can go, first is always in 0, go till the end. All right, till the length. Length will always give you human count, which is always going to be 1 more than the last index position. So you can always apply this like this, I less than the index. Okay, so it will give you to the second last position or last position of the cell. Then we also said, when you use an array variable along with the loop variable, okay, inside the loop, it means logically you're making computer read the entire array. You can use this again and again in the entire loop. So I use 1, 2, 3, and even 4 times. So all places, if computer has to read, it will read the first value, then it will read the next value, and so on. Okay, then we also saw how to input a value in an array. So we understood we can create an empty array. Okay, we create an empty array, and then we allow user to input this using the array variable. If you look at this here also array variable with the index position. So all index positions are applied. Now this is on a storing side. Okay, so every value is received will be stored here, and then processing can be done. Okay, so in the next class, Array, I have given to all the students. Did you not receive the code number Prakash 20? I don't know why you guys are not getting. Okay, everyone in the meeting. One moment. Prakash 20. Now you will get. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now. Okay, focus here. So I hope you guys have learned. In the next class, I'm going to start with the search. Okay, because there are two search, linear and binary search. Okay, in the next class, I'm going to do search. I want you to ensure that you are there well in time so that I can start exactly at 8 o'clock. Okay, I don't want to waste any single moment in teaching. So ensure that you guys are there on time. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. God bless everyone. We will stop
When
here.
is the next class?
Thank you, sir.
I think the timetable will come. To my knowledge, it's on Friday. But just keep
Saturday, sir.
checking the timetable. I'll verify the timetable. I'll put it on the group as well. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Bye everyone. God bless.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tell your friends also to
Thank you,
join
sir.
in case they are still not able to do something. All right. Tell them to join your rough box. Probably they'll be able to learn something good.
Yes,
Where
sir.
to apply the code?
So sorting is not there, right?
Sorting 101% not there. Sorting needs nested loop. Nested loop is not part of your syllabus. So
So in the
is-
book, sir, so notes you gave, so in the notes I
No,
can cut off sorting,
that
right?
was the first sem, but now it's been cancelled. So I'm sending another notes. Okay, so you can follow this.
Okay, sir.
Yes, anybody
Thank you,
has
sir.
any personal question, you can go ahead with. I'll stop recording.
So, in binary search, we will get sorted array only, na, in the boards because.
Yeah, you will get sorted array, 100%.
Sir,
Okay,
where to
thanks.
apply the code?
Pardon?
Where to apply the code?
When if you're going to, you'll have to go to this rough box app, all right, or probably call them something like that. Okay, just go to rough box app.
But there is
Acha,
no.
I'll have to ask somebody. Is there anybody here from rough box?
Yes, sir, I'm here, sir.
हाँ जरा आंसर करो इस बच्चे को. Okay, he
Sir, I
wants to
couldn't
use
hear the question, sir. What was the question?
I gave my code number, coupon code Prakash 20. He
Yes,
says
sir.
I don't know how to go about it.
Just put in the chat box of rough box and we will guide you. You'll get a call from the team as well.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Asta, you have a question, बच्चा.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
recording stop कर दो अभी. हाँ, yes, Asta, go ahead.
yes, sir. Sir, how many types of number system is there this time?
You have only one type, बच्चा. You don't have hexadecimal, octal, and all that.
Okay.
From this important definition, sir, means important term definition, what you taught today.
Today we
That would come in exam.
learned about array, meaning of array. Okay, just we learned that definition. We learned syntax, how to store a value, how to read a value. Now next time we will be learning linear search. That time some more definition will come. So if you are there on rough box
from
now,
where, sir?
if you're there on rough box now, rough box will supply you the
Yes.
PDF of the entire array that I have. All right, that is good enough for your exam. Don't worry.
Yes.
Is that very clear with us? All of you, Asta bacha?
Yes, sir. One more doubt I have.
Go ahead.
Sir, how to execute the program of twin prime?
Twin prime.
Yes.
Twin prime के लिए function लगेगा.
Yeah.
Twin prime logically this year तुमको नहीं आना चाहिए. Twin prime should have come in the first sem. You
Okay,
want I can show you, but it is a first sem का program. Function का program है वो.
Method use
Okay, sir.
Okay, you want I will send you the program. I have it with me. We have done in my school and all wherever, but I don't have it here right now.
Okay,
All
sir.
right, this is another system, but if you want, I'll send you on the same group. Okay, the rough box group. But twin prime is not a part of this year's syllabus. This year, no, what you will get from rough box, no, my notes and
Yes,
everything, that's sufficient enough. And past year's board paper. You don't need
So-
all this.
So what about Krishnamurti number?
These questions, bacha, is last year's question, the same one question.
Okay.
We are
sir.
not with you. All questions related to modulus are not part of syllabus except odd and even. Okay, because that can be used for reading a number or something. But all these types of number, palindrome number, Krishnamurti number, Armstrong number, Niven number, all these things were first sem exam. They are done all over. Now you focus on array, search, both linear, binary, and string. So in string, you don't have any number system at all.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so 3 questions you'll get on string, 3 questions you'll get on array. That's it. So no questions related to modulus at all. If condition, switch case, nothing will come. If condition will come as a part of your array or a string, but no separate question of if else and everything.
Okay, sir.
Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else?
Sir, after this, how many more lectures, live lectures will you take?
I want more classes. In fact, I've already told them 8-10 classes will be there, because string is at least 5 times bigger than array, maybe more than that. There are 24 functions that we have to learn, and then programming on them, using them. So it's really huge. So I feel that as soon as I finish this, I'll get into string, and string is a different thought altogether. So we will do that for longer period of time, and probably 1 or 2 class, maximum 1 class, 2 class. Theory portion will be done. It's not a very big portion for theory. So more portion
Sir,
is
I'm
this
asking
too.
in total, how many lectures live more to go?
I think 10, 12.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay. Should I call off? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye everyone.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
sir.
Bye, sir. Good.
Bye,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.